Good evening. Welcome to tonight's council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'm going to ask for is agenda changes.
No changes from staff this evening to the agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Next, I'll open up for public forum. If there's anybody here wishing to address this council, now's the time to come forward. Seeing no movement from the gallery, I'll close the public forum and ask for the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, after having reviewed the consent agenda as submitted, I would make a motion to approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. There is no public hearing tonight. We have no unfinished business, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn sine die for this council.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn sine die. And now we will begin a swearing-in ceremony for the recently elected officials. Is this where you take over, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Julie does.
Yes,
Julie.
he does.
Before we swear in the new, we obviously just want to recognize outgoing, so Denise, as a certificate saying thank you for your service
Thank you.
and appointment to the board. And Travis, your 8 years as mayor, there is your thank you for your service to the community.
All right. Unlike that hatchet I got Andy, it looks like I can detach it. All right. What do I need to do for the swearing in? Anything?
Julie's task to swear in the newly electeds.
I gotta stay long enough to shake Gary's hand and give him all this mail that's waiting for me.
Okay, you can just raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Gary Failber,
I, Gary Felber,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of Halstead Mayor.
and faithfully discharge the duties of Halstead Mayor.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then I will just have you sign. This is your oath that you're signing. Just right here. Okay, thank you, sir. You can take your seat up there at the table. Yeah.
We'll swap nameplates.
Yes, I actually will do Shauna, Gary, and Jim. We'll just do it all at one time, if that's okay with you.
You got my number.
So yeah, if you want to come on in.
Get ready to get sworn in. Good luck. We'll see you, Gary.
Dennis, do you want your nameplate?
Yeah, I'll come by and get it later.
Okay.
That's the first time I've had to leave the council meeting.
Okay, so we'll go ahead, I will announce each of you separately, and then we'll just state the oath together. So, in alphabetical, we've got, raise your right hand, please. I, Roger Keating.
I, Roger Keating.
I, James Van Scoik.
I, James Van Scoy.
And I, Shauna Will.
I, Shauna Will,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Kansas,
of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of
and faithfully discharge the duties of
Halstead City Council.
Halstead City Council.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. Roger, you're going to be right here for this evening. We will, just not tonight.
think you're on, George.
Let's get a red light.
You
Okay.
are good to call the meeting to order when you are ready.
We'll call the meeting to order. And our first order of business is selection of council president.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I would like to nominate Mr. Charles Robinson as council president.
Do we have a motion for that?
I have a question, actually. Can more than one person be, or we have to go with whoever gets? How does that work?
Any one of you can serve as council president. It just would be one person. But yeah, you can open the floor for nominations, discussion. It would just, in the end, be whoever gets a motion, a second, and a majority vote.
Can we talk about what's the role of the council president really quickly?
Sure. So the council president largely is just the designee to chair the meetings in the absence of the mayor. It also would be if the office of the mayor was vacated for whatever reason, the council president automatically becomes the mayor. Then you would basically appoint a new person to be on the city council to fill the position that they vacated. But that's largely it. The council president doesn't have the authority to like sign ordinances or anything like that. It's literally mostly to designate who would run the meeting in the absence of the mayor. Then unofficially, largely, they've also assisted like with trying to help orient new members on, or like, you know, if there's something hanging that might need a motion, be at the consent agenda, kind of lead that process to keep the meeting flowing.
Sure.
But if the council president does end up chairing a meeting, they still retain their right to make motions. They still retain their right to vote at those meetings. They don't lose it just because they're chairing the meeting.
Okay.
And then they would probably be the backup person when we have, you know, ribbon cuttings or things where we need representation. If the mayor for some reason couldn't go,
Yes.
that's usually who's requested to come.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'd like, unless you're really against it, I really have appreciated your leadership and I feel like you've done an amazing job. And I would like to nominate George to be the council president. Just due to that. Nothing. I love you too, Charlie, but I really have thought you've done a fantastic job in doing that, so.
Ethan, am I allowed to nominate someone?
Yeah, you just can't make a motion to nominate, but you are free to express your opinion as well.
I would like to have Jim Van Schucks nominated for president.
What do you think of that?
I would do it if I needed to do it. Yes, I would do it, but. So,
Well, the reason I was nominated Mr. Robinson is I'm gonna be done in 2 years. And I'm not coming back. So I just thought it'd be good to have somebody else get in there and have a go at it. But I appreciate that very much, thank you. Humbles me. So I'm gonna let you guys fight over it.
I don't think it's gonna be a fight.
Surprised you haven't hidden already.
Well, let's see.
Do we need a motion now, or?
Yeah, at some point, somebody needs to nominate someone and see
Somebody,
if it
one of
gets
the
a
council
second.
members would need to make a motion and get a second.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion at this point for Mr. Robinson to be council president.
Do we have a second on that?
I motion for Jim.
Do we settle one before we go to the next?
Yeah, you would announce that
Okay, okay.
the
well,
motion on the floor
apparently
died.
We don't have a second,
Yeah,
so we now have a motion for Jim. Do we have a second for Jim to be president?
I'll second that.
And all those in favor, say aye and raise your right hand so we know who votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Looks like the motion carries for Jim.
I'm going to abstain.
You're supposed to.
Very good.
You've been had. Yeah.
Okay, next item. Resolution number 2026-01-GAAP waiver for the 2026 fiscal year.
Do we, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, do we need to talk about the liaison, the board?
Yeah, if you all want, it's not something that absolutely
Not that-
has to be done at this meeting, but, yeah, if the mayor is willing to let us go back to that.
We can go back to that.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, so, as you all know, we have, several city boards and, commissions, and there have always typically been assigned liaisons from the current governing body, that go to those like the library board or the housing authority, because they are related to the city or the city interacts with them, and the whole goal there is for you all, to be aware of what's going on with those entities, and then hopefully bring back that information or assist them if there's something that might need to come before the whole group of elected officials to talk about similarly, or I just saw, know those of you recently elected, like at the work session when Councilmember Van Scoik brought, forward the issues at the library and, how we could assist with that potentially in terms of the water issue they were having. So it's largely that. It's kind of signing up to hopefully attend another meeting for you all. Again, this isn't like a really formal or assigned, but typically everyone has usually taken one that has some interest that correlates to their interest and, yeah.
For instance, I'm on the Housing Authority Board, and they have their meetings on, well, got one coming up here. But I basically go to the meetings, I'm quiet. Every now and again, they'll have a question, what does the city do about this, So I'm just kind of there to just give some insight with what we're, what we expect. But normally, I'm just there and I'm quiet. And I think you're with the Parks and Rec, and I'm sure your position is probably way different than mine. But,
Similar.
yeah, so that's kind of, I just go and sit unless they have a question for me.
Is everyone staying on the boards that they are currently on, or do we have more openings?
I know we have the planning commission is vacant and the cemetery is vacant. That's
So we
what I
have
thought.
2 openings if someone was interested in going to those meetings.
I think Charlie and I are both on boards ourselves, so.
Yeah.
As he's on the health board and I'm on the, like I said, they said the library, so right at this moment. Mine is much like theirs, you just go and listen, and I don't really go all that often. They just ask me every once in a while to come in more than actually go, so.
And I can be a liaison.
Correct.
And I was intending to start attending the planning and zoning meetings.
Okay.
So I would be interested in that seat.
Do we need to make a motion?
I think just general consensus because they're not formal
Somebody else
assignments.
wants to speak up?
And I'm fine with the cemetery. I was good with either one. I just figured I'd let you
Very good.
decide which one you wanted first, and I'm good with
Okay.
it.
Spreads the wealth.
Yeah, we're getting things done.
We'll reach out to those boards and, yeah, update the contact information and, yeah, Roger, you're, like, I think I have 1, maybe 2 meetings a year where planning and zoning is usually, yeah, every month, every other month, so. And again, it's an informal thing, so please, if you can make it to the meetings or you're invited, please go, but it's one of those, if you can't make it for some reason, it's not, you're not detrimental or a needed part for those boards to operate. It's just trying to keep lines of communication open.
No, the Board of Health, we hope we don't have another pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah. That met frequently.
So just to clarify, for my minutes, everybody is staying on the boards that you are currently on, and Mayor, you are going to sit on the planning commission, and Roger, you are going to sit on the cemetery. Correct? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now the auditing waiver.
Now for the resolution waiver for 2026 fiscal year. What do we need to do there?
So this resolution is a waiver of the generally accepted accounting principles, which gets into how the city prepares its annual financial statements. It's very common for cities of our size, just due to the complication and more work that goes into preparing your financial statements via GAAP standards. To put this waiver on, which allows us to use the Kansas Modified Accounting Guidelines to prepare our financial reports, which is a more cash-basis form of accounting than GAAP is. There are still some areas, and our auditors will go over those with you every year, where we still do get information that is somewhat like a GAAP, but we don't track necessarily asset depreciation and all that and report that as part of our financial statements. The GAAP waiver allows us to prepare our financial statements in accordance with state regulations and not GAAP regulations, so.
For the citizens out there that probably haven't looked, the GAPs actually stand for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. So this is not something that's, we're just kind of making up, so.
Most nonprofits, municipalities use that procedure.
So, if there is no discussions or questions, Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-01, a resolution regarding the waiver of generally accepted accounting principles and to waive the requirements of KSIE 751120A in preparation of fiscal statements and financial reports for the city of Halstead, Kansas.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. And
Aye.
raise your hand. We have a carry with that. There'll be no nays.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say one thing. I've been asked in the past, why do you read all of that? Because I know if it were me at home, hearing somebody just throw some numbers out, let's approve this, I would want to know what it's about. And so that's why I read that whole little statement there, so that at least the citizens out there watching, they have some place to start to inquiry if they have more questions. So that's why I read that.
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Next on our agenda is ordinance number 1355, governing body regular meeting day change. Any discussion on that first? I think we've all already agreed. So we just need a motion then.
To kind of sum it up for the public, we're going to change our annual meetings from the second and fourth Mondays of each month to the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. There were some conflicts with various things, and really when it comes to budget time, it's a big conflict, because the school boards are the same, a lot of times are the same night. People like to go to both of them. And I didn't hear but from one person that stated that they didn't like the change, but I didn't really hear anything negative beside that from what feedback I got. So, I don't know about the rest of the council, but.
I think it's a good move.
It also gives city staff a little bit, when they come in, a lot of the holidays that we observe are on Mondays. And a lot of times the staff will have to come in on Mondays when they really shouldn't be working on Monday. Not that they've complained, but the other thing that it does is Mondays, everything happens on Mondays, if you've ever been in an office or a city. And it just gives them a couple more days to prepare.
Well, with that, Mr. Mayor, if there's no more questions or discussion, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1355, an ordinance amending Chapter 1, Article 2, Section 1-203 of the Halstead City Code regarding the regular meeting day and the time of Halstead governing body.
Second.
All those in favor say aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
There are no nays. That carries. Next on our agenda is the K-Camp Property and Liability Insurance Renewal.
Yeah, so in your packet was included our renewal for the 2026 Property and Liability Insurance, K-Camp. The acronym stands for the Kansas County Association Multi-Line Pool. So that is a Kansas-based pool. They, as the name implies, actually cover a lot of Kansas counties, but they also are willing to cover cities. And we did originally switch from EMC to K-Camp back in April of 2020 due to some coverage additions that K-Camp offered, as well as a better price point. I will note that we did shop in 2024, went back out to bid for our property and liability insurance, and the next closest bid to K-Camp was $190,000 more annually than K-Camp was, and that didn't include a cybersecurity insurance policy as K-Camp does. We are planning, again, to formally bid this out in 2026 to bring those formal back to you all for consideration. But for this year, we are comfortable with the increase, which I will note was just shy of 12%. Those increases are largely common in the insurance industry due to buildings becoming more expensive to replace. So you're covering that, as well as just our natural cycle of renewing equipment or adding equipment. So lower valued equipment shifting off and being replaced by higher valued equipment. I will note we don't have a bad claim history or anything with them, even in light of the derecho. So it's not being driven by our use of the policy so much as the larger insurance market and things seen. And the other advantage with K-Camp is because they cover public entities, they're very much know our business, know what those legal limitations and liabilities are that they need to have coverage for, which is also an advantage for us. And anytime we've had a claim with them, they've been great to work with, so.
Is it fair to say that the majority of the counties that are relatively small, like Harvey County, I would consider Harvey County small, and municipalities of our class participate with these people as opposed to being self-insured, like maybe Wichita would be? And I think Lily said they are self-insured. Or other cities, so it's, the bigger the pool, better our cost.
Yep. I mean,
It's a municipal, it's a mutual type thing.
yeah, it's a public entity pool, so we will ask all of you, an elected official can participate in the K-Camp meeting, actually go to their annual meeting, vote on behalf of the city because it is a pool. So it's shared. There's advantages and disadvantages to being in a pool depending on how the pool overall is running. But yes, to get to, a lot of counties are with K-Camp. As far as other public risk pools, there's Midwest Public Risk, which is another very popular option for public entities. EMC still does a lot of coverage, and then there's some smaller cities that do have, more, I would say, like the conventional private insurers that reach out to them, but they have maybe more of a limited scope of coverage, or they're not covering necessarily the same assets we are. But largely, most entities I know are either with EMC, who was the large player for a long time, or they're in one of the public pools.
Now you're saying EMC?
Yeah, EMC.
Warriors Mutual?
Yeah. And that's who we had for,
Yeah.
until 2020.
Ethan, how many years are we 5 years into this, or how many years?
Yeah, this would be our sixth.
Sixth year?
2020
When we
was our
started
first year
this,
with
there
them.
weren't very many cities, were there?
No, K-Camp
Like
doesn't
12
have.
or something? How much have has this group grown, do you know?
They've stayed about the same.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot of public entities that switch year to year.
Right, right. But nonetheless, it's been beneficial for us.
But yeah, the pool's been stable,
Yeah, yeah, good.
so.
If there's no more questions or discussions, Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the renewal with Kansas County Association Multi-Line Pool and authorize payment of the invoice in the amount of $164,934.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That carries. Next on our agenda is 2026 LKM Statement of Municipal Policy.
So the League of Kansas Municipalities, of which we are a member, prepares their legislative priorities, and that's voted on at their annual meeting. Staff participate and elected officials can also participate in the development of those priorities and things. The, legislative session is starting, and so this basically just says the city of Halstead generally supports those LKM legislative priorities, which, are things like preservation of home rule authority for cities. Hopefully you all had a chance to follow the link and go read it. The first couple pages are really the things they highlight. There's obviously larger policy things within the document, but then this also allows like staff, when we need to, when bills are proposed or things, to provide testimony that support those general policies. And basically just interact and express our things that are in support of that large policy document to try and make sure that legislation that is proposed is taking into account the effects it has on cities, so.
If citizens go to this subject on our website, and at the very bottom, there's a link it's the last line, it's a blue line. Tap on that, and this page is gonna come up, and it's gonna show you all the various policies that they're considering. And they're just like, there's a bunch of them. There's just like one little paragraph. It might be 5 lines, but it just describes, we believe that the city of Halstead should have home rule. Just common sense things. So it's these things that the state has adopted again this year that we are also adopting. That's all it is. So, but if you want to tap on that link at the bottom, it's all there.
I'll say they're a lot better than Google. They really are.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no more questions or discussion, I make a motion for the city of Halstead to support the League of Kansas Municipalities 2026 Statement of Municipal Policy and authorization for the governing body members of the city staff or the city staff to engage in activities related to the support of those legislative policies and priorities as may be appropriate.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And if you have a chance to go to the spring conference, it's well worth your time. I'm not aware yet of when it is. Usually it's in March
It'll
or
be
April,
end of March or
yeah.
yeah.
But the sessions are very helpful, very informative, and you know they're gonna relate to you. So set your calendars free and go. City pays for it, at least they used to.
It's Hawaii this year, right?
Whatever.
Next on our agenda, it appears we have an executive session scheduled.
Nope, no executive.
No executive session, okay. We jump down to reports, governing body.
And this is basically what Dennis does. This is where we all comment on things that are maybe we've noticed in town or just something we
Okay.
want to express. So
Let's go
you,
around the table and what's on your mind?
Go, Shauna.
I know.
Easy, keep it short. We're about done.
Well, I'm not the one to keep it short, but I will try. Welcome, Roger. Welcome, Mayor Gary. We are grateful to your duty, and we welcome you and look forward to serving alongside of you. So thank you for stepping up and answering the call of service. So, but on top of that, Happy New Year. I know that it feels like it's been a minute since we've all been together. So hopefully everyone is keeping to their New Year's resolutions. And you know, I think historically people fail by about this time. So stick with it. But welcome and thank you.
Myself also, welcome, guys. And I'm sure we're gonna have a good time working together. And I think generally speaking, all of us are pretty much headed in the same direction. We just are coming from different positions. So there's that point out there where we all want to go
It's not a
together.
bad thing.
And no, it's not. And we'll all get out there. We'll get there.
Well-rounded view.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all I have.
I have one thing I'd really like to say, and that is thank you to my wife for being by my side this last year. And then I would really a heartfelt thank you to the citizens that put me here. Thank you very much. This is such an honor. And I promise to treat this office with the respect that it deserves. That's all I have.
Well, some things hit you in the face harder than others. And I think you'll see where that's going. Ladies, I'll speak to ladies first. If you haven't had genetic testing for cancer, get it. Protect your kids so your siblings know whether or not they have a propensity for breast cancer. We found out 3 days before Christmas that my wife has it.
Oh,
And she's gone through a bevy of tests, starts treatment tomorrow afternoon, formal treatment. Gentlemen, looks like almost everybody in here is of the age to have a PSA, prostate-specific antigen test. Now, I'll tell you, gentlemen can also get breast cancer. My wife's first husband had it. And he did beat it, but he had it. And there are other tests also. Ladies, if you're over 40, get that yearly breast exam. I don't know how other people's insurance does what they do, but as far as my position on the Board of Health, you know,
They're actually suggesting if it's in your family, start those at 30. I did.
Yeah.
The breast exams. Start
Oh.
at 30.
it's, you know, I won't go into my wife's background, but that's basically what we're talking. You know, she went 26 years before she ever got anything done, so then it was too late. At least we could have caught it earlier. It'd have been nice, but aside from that, hey, it doesn't cost that much to take care of yourself. It doesn't cost that much to find out if there's a potential for an issue that you need to address or your family's gonna have to address. I'm not, you know, there is a guy on that says thing on TV like, get her done.
All right, Charlie, we are definitely thinking of you. I'd like to welcome Roger and Gary.
Thank you.
Okay, and it's going to be fun to serve with all of you. I'm not sure about the president role, but we're going to figure that one out, so. And And my wife's looking at me over there and thinking, I can't believe you took that.
Yeah.
But welcome to you all, and thanks everyone for being here this evening. So, that's it.
And I'd like to thank everyone for the vote of confidence and the opportunity to serve the city. Like the mayor, I do take it serious, and I do pledge to do my best and to do it honestly and transparently. I think sometimes when you're the new guy on board, people tend to grab you and give you their thoughts. I've had a number of folks talk to me, and fiscal responsibility and the transparency have been top issues. 10th Street getting paved, you know, we've all, I'm sure, heard a lot of the same stuff of what people want to see in the city. So I just look forward to finding creative solutions to some of these problems, and yeah, I look forward to working with the rest of the council and the employees of the city. That's all I have.
We're ready for adjournment?
No, city manager's report.
City manager, yes, okay. What does the city manager have for us?
No, I just want to say welcome to Mayor Felber and Councilmember Keating. Look forward to serving with you. And for all of you that retained your seats and our incumbents, thank you as well for agreeing to serve, and we'll continue hopefully working on accomplishing your goals. Starting off this evening with some exciting news, and that was the notification the city received towards the very end of the year that our Safe Streets for All federal grant application was approved for funding. This grant will allow the city to develop a new comprehensive safety action plan related to our transportation network in the city, so basically our sidewalks and streets, and looking specifically at areas where we have seen conflicts or had issues such as Main Street, 2nd Street, 6th Street, and others. I want to also acknowledge the assistance that professional engineering consultants, PEC, provided in helping us with the preparation of our grant application. And the city, like most grants, we got notice of the award, and now we start the waiting game for the paperwork that comes with that. And as you've all probably noticed, there's usually, 6 months to a year, sometimes longer, depending from when the awards are announced to when these projects actually even really get started. But very excited that it was a very competitive cycle and that our application was chosen for funding. Many departments have been balancing requests for time off for staff with the holiday while also compiling and preparing their year-end reports or required reporting to other entities like the state, and then following up on outstanding invoices or bills to get those paid before the end of year. Other notable department activities beyond the routine and these year-end activities include winter equipment maintenance in both Public Works and at Wedgwood. Halstead PD transition to new sidearms. Administrative staff continue to work through our migration to the cloud-based server and how that's affected our various software interfaces. And then also began working through our license and permit renewals for 2026. Public Works removed street Christmas decorations, have done some water and gas meter replacements as the weather's been nicer, street grading, and pothole repair. City continues to wait on our grant agreement from KDOT for our innovative technology grant, and this will help us implement a GIS system for the city. And then we also hopefully should be scheduling our pre-construction and project meetings with the chosen contractor PSE, and then Lochner as the engineer on our safe routes to school improvements, which will hopefully nail down a firm timeline for that construction. And then we have almost finished up the right-of-way and easement adjustments that are necessitated by our North Street project, including those with BNSF, and the hope is to get that out to bid sometime here in the first quarter. Staff are also beginning to monitor the legislative session and some of the preliminary information that has been put out by various groups or our local representatives about what changes might be coming our way via the state during this session. Staff will forward important legislative information or updates out to you all as appropriate. Just remember that you all as well can sign up for updates from the league to come directly to you, or for updates from our local representatives, as most of them have direct constituency emails and updates they send. If you would like to receive that information directly as opposed to having it filtered through me. Staff have also been responding to some interest from multiple parties in our industrial park speculative building, and we're currently pursuing those opportunities diligently, although we have nothing formal to announce as of yet, but happy to see interest from several parties. And then I'm also happy to see and report that a majority of our signs grants projects for those Main Street businesses that participated have gone up. There are 2 more that will be completed by early spring, but I just want to again thank the business owners for their participation and efforts in that grant project, as well as you all for authorizing the funding and the match for that. And think it's just great that a local contractor also was selected to do many of those signs and get those projects done. And then finally, the new fire truck did arrive, and if anyone would like to go look at it and see it, please feel free to head over tonight after the meeting or reach out to Director Lowe, and I'm sure he will be happy to schedule something for you that works in your schedule. And that is all I have this evening on the manager side.
Very good. And we're ready for the financial report, preliminary FY 2025 review.
Yeah, I will keep this very brief because we'll do a more thorough, as we pretty much just got the book soft closed right before the packet, but wanted to push this out as soon as possible. For those of you who are looking at this report for the first time, it goes through, shows you what the authorized budget is for the year, followed by revenue. These are our budgeted funds, so state law requires us to be within the budgets of those funds regarding the expenditures. Then it has the monthly expenditures as well as expenditures year to date. Then the expenses as a percentage of that budget authority, and then expenses as a percentage of revenue for that fund, and then a revenue in relation to the budget as well percentage, and then the remaining budget balance. And then most importantly, as we have both our budget law and our cash basis law, the cash balance that are in those various funds, because if you don't have a cash in a fund, you can't spend it even if you have the budget authority for it. So as you can see, and this has been the trend all year, the general fund is unfavorable to its previous fiscal year's cash position by about $500,000, a little more. That is due again to declining revenue, the large one being the EMS contract that we previously had with the city of Sedgwick. Other than that, the gas fund is the second largest one that is unfavorable to budget, and that is due to just our escalated payments on that utility loan from Winter Storm Uri. All in all, we dropped year to year just at right over $650,000, which is about a 24% drop in our cash position in those budgeted funds. Going down, the little box there shows you what we projected for our year-end cash at 2025 that we began 2026 with. And I am pleased to report we were able to come in favorable in most of the funds. And you can see the variance on the unfavorable side, was only a couple thousand, the most being about $5,000 off of what we projected when we're doing the budget. So I just want to thank staff for their due diligence in their expenditure management and helping us come in, because we guess at those numbers 6 months in advance. So it's very nice to actually see them come in that close. And then we were very pleased to see the general fund did not dip as low as we thought. So, and on the back of that, you will then see the city equipment and capital improvement, which are our 2 largest unbudgeted funds that routinely get tasked. And I will note, for those of you new to the governing body, and we kind of covered this in orientation as well, the city has a single equipment fund, and so when you see, police or fire, these called out, that is internal accounting on our side. The city actually aggregates its equipment fund so it can be responsive to any equipment needs the city might have. But in a perfect world, this is kind of where each of the departments are at with their capital savings. And then in the capital improvement fund, you can see kind of the same thing of there is actually just one general fund, or one fund in total, but there are 3 kind of subcategories for expenditures in our capital improvement. Miscellaneous projects is better just general projects. Then we have money that is specific to sales tax that's generated by that 2nd cent sales tax at the county level. And that is to go towards quality of life projects like parks, or the pool, Wedgewood. And then we have the road improvement project, which is what we utilize for our large capital street work. So
Ethan, do they have any idea of when they're gonna, talking about possibly breaking ground out there on North Street? They have a month that there's like, March,
I mean,
June.
it will probably depend on what contractor schedules look like if we actually get it out to bid.
Okay,
I mean, if it successfully goes out to bid, then I would say it's very likely we'd see groundbreaking within 2026. We probably will come back to you all for guidance, because when we go out to bid, the more exact, or if you say we only, we want someone to be able to start within 30 days of us telling them they were awarded the project, that may or may not affect the price depending on contractor availability. Usually the advice is let them tell you when they can do it, and then you pick who might match the timeline you like best to get better pricing, but you all have the ability to say, we're bidding this in March and we want someone that's gonna start in May. I mean,
Yeah.
so.
that's how you get yourself in trouble.
Yep.
And that brings us to the end. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.